Hey guys, Heavy on 45 here. Now, last Sunday I was asked to start doing a thing called Anime Honest Opinions. And I had never heard that before, so I'm gonna try this. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna tell y'all what I think of these anime, and I'm like, there's a lot of anime out there. There's so many to go through that um I didn't know where to start at. So I figured that I would go ahead and start off with my collection and doing like you do if you were starting school, with some of the kids are now. Yay. Um, I figured that I'd start off with the letter A. So, dealing with the letter A, let's look at the anime that I have that I can give you a review of. The first one that I have is called A Certain Magical Index. Now, A Certain Magical Index is about this boy who has a power that cancels out other people's I want to say arcanas, if I remember correctly. Um it's it's somewhat of, I don't know which one happened first, but it somewhat reminds me a lot of Black Clover. Um because it's a person who his real powers only cancel out other people's powers, which in some cases would make him very weak because in his situation, everybody's powers that he goes against basically uh are ranged attacks, and he has to try and find a way to get close to them to cancel them out. But um in all honesty, it's good in certain places. It's very action oriented, and I do like a lot of action in my anime. And then other sides, it kind of feels like it drags. It's trying to get you to the point to where you care in the story, and at some points, I'll be honest, I lost interest in some of the characters. I did. Now, I do say that I do find interesting a certain magical railgun, but I don't have that one. The only one that I've actually seen is a certain magic index, and I think I've only seen like the first season of it. I'm trying to find a way of getting the other seasons or even see them, but I haven't yet. That's my fault. Um, Another one that I have seen is Excel World. Now, I love technology. Um, I'm not complete heathen or anything like that, but I do like technology. Technology is something that I'm always interested. I like virtual reality type stuff, like what you have in Sora Online, the Nerve Gear, and everything like that. And Excel World is somewhat actually not somewhat. It kind of hints to later in the show, and I hope it's not spoiled, that it's somewhat connected to the Sword Art Online world because this is a technology that happened after Nerve Gear. So I love the idea of, you have this thing that connects to the back of your neck, and you're able to see everything kind of uh, through your mind in a way. Like all the stuff that you see on your computer is somewhat connected to you, which I can hear some people say, "What about you getting hacked?" It's possible, I guess, but it seems very weird that you would get hacked. Yeah, but I like the whole idea of the accelerator world, where a place where people could come together and combat each other. The only part that I didn't like about it was that, I like to see myself in the, like, not in the world, not in as the main character. And the way they talked about it was this was something that only happened to kids. So they only put this chip or whatever onto you when you're baby or something like that, so that you be able to get to stay, and you basically grew up with that. And also, the accelerated world did not work for people that were adults. Adults could not be a part of the accelerated world, so it was nothing but ran by kids. You never found, like, I never saw the manga. All I seen is anime. So I would have loved to have found out who actually who made the accelerated world. Like, that's something that always found me had me curious. Like, who created this place that like only kids could be in? Like, part of me wonder if Kirito did it, and like kind of like how him and his friends all were basically kids, and who basically ran uh Elfheim and Sword Art when in the later parts of the show. But it would have been cool. Excel World, I would say, was a great anime. Yeah, I feel like I nerded out enough on technology there. The next anime that I have is Oh My Goddess. Now, Oh My Goddess, some of y'all might not know what it is. Oh My Goddess is about this guy who he's a good guy. He's he is helpful, he's friendly, but he was just born under the wrong star, supposedly. He was born under the star of bad luck. So, anytime he tries to do something, stuff goes completely wrong. Now, not everything goes wrong, though. He is a real tech savvy person. So, he's always helping people with doing stuff. Like in the first episode, you see him help a guy fix his motorcycle, because he's also a part of the motorcycle club. Um, and because all these good deeds and all this stuff, um, somehow there was a connection with a the goddess helpline, and he got in touch with uh, my favorite goddess, Belle Dandy. Um, sorry, Golden Urn, you don't get mad at me. Uh, but Belle Dandy is one of the sweetest people that you can find. And she comes down to talk to him because she first started trying to take his call over the phone. But then she decided to come in person. And she was so nice to him. And she tells you all about him, how he was how he was so kind to all technology that she said that all the love that he put into fixing all technology that he had in his room was shown in everything that he in all his VCR, his uh motorcycle, and also, and as you look at the room, every single piece of technology that he's worked on in the room starts to glow in, like it's like a giant, almost blinding light, it seemed like. And he's all shocked, and she's talking all nice about all this stuff. So she said that she came down to give him one wish, and that one wish that he had was that he wished that a goddess like her would stay with him forever. And I believe I got that wish right, because yeah. But yeah, and so from that point on, they are inseparable, literally. Like, they, from that point on, they live together. They take classes together. She basically, and then hijinks go from there. That it's just so crazy how how the story goes from there. But as you can see, that I've told a detailed description of what happened there. I do like this show. I do like the idea of, I've always been the person who uh, been told that, you know, good guys finish last and all this stuff. And I've always been the good guy. I've heard of I've heard several times and have been in the friend zone something. So it was kind of a nice warm feeling to see that this kid, you know, actually, and it's not like when he made this wish, it didn't upset her that he wished for her to stay with him forever, but it was, she actually like was okay. She wasn't upset with him, but it was like she didn't mind it at the same time. And over the time, she's grown to actually love him, and it's because I can see how if it was somebody else like her sister Scold or Earn, they would have been very upset for him doing it. And I keep saying her sister Scold and Earn because they do get upset over him doing it. Because Belle Dandy is not up there with them anymore, Earn is upset because she has to bring Belle Dandy back, but she for some reason can't do it. Scold can't is upset because she likes Belle Dandy more than she does Earn, and so she's upset with him because he had her. He's keeping Belle Dandy down there and forcing her to stay down. So she's trying to get him to cancel the wish. And so, but as the show goes on, they live with them. So now it's three women and one guy living in a large temple. In a yeah, it is a temple because they got it from a monk. Like this monk was there. He saw Bill Dandy suddenly shining with her angel that she has with her all the time, and all of a sudden he's like, "I need to find my center. I'm gonna go on a trip. Um, y'all watch this house while I'm gone." So they have a big house, multiple rooms, and Belle Dandy and I forget his name right now. Crap. Clean it every day. She cooks for him, and it's it's one of the one shows I can say that it doesn't have a lot of action, but it grabbed my attention. Um, I can't think of a time where I was bored in it or anything like that. I do seriously like, oh my god! And I would suggest if you had a chance to see it, you check it out. And if you can't find Oh My Goddess, there's a different one called Oh My Goddess that is, it goes a different way in the way it's still goes. I know parts of it are the same and parts of it kind of like watching um, Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. There are some slight variations at some point where they both veer off from each other. Once Brotherhood is closer to the actual manga, and the anime, I mean, and just Full Metal Alchemist just kind of goes off on its own after a certain point. So I think right around the time Hughes dies, it kind of splits off. But that's besides the point. Um, the next one I have seen is, and I think this is now required watching this person who watch anime, especially if you like action anime. Akame ga Kill. Akame ga Kill is a it's a good anime. Uh, and I'm not saying it like that. If I don't like anything else, uh, if I like technology, but I do like magic too. And, you know, it's I play Pathfinder. I like magic stuff. So I like the Imperial arms in Akame ga Kill. I like Akame's sword. Like one cut kills everything. Like all she gotta do is cut you. Next thing you know, you trying to figure out in the next second who would who would win. Well, basically, who's gonna be at your funeral? And there could be a lot of people at your funeral with a comment. With some of the other ones, you won't have a funeral. Uh, as Death, she just makes you into a giant popsicle. Uh, yeah. So I like this anime too. It got action. It surprised me because it surprised me until I found the method. Um, if you watch a comic kill, it went with the old adage of if you learn anything about this character, they're probably going to die. And then the next question is when? And the answer usually is this or the next episode. Like, soon as you find out that this character had a past, the character usually dies. And so, but it's still, I liked how it hurt me in a way. I liked how it made me feel like anyone could die. I didn't want I didn't want a lot of people to die, but they died. And even though you have only, I want to say, 24 episodes, you kind of got connected with some of these characters before they die. You like, oh, he's such a nice guy. Dang, he dies from poison. Ooh, that sucks. Or like I I was thinking when the story came to end, because you know I was thinking the Emperor's not a really bad guy. He's just misled. He should he should make it through this relatively safe. And I was like, yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. Um, I realized afterwards that he he kind of deserved this stuff, but uh, I did want. I was looking for, in some cases, some people have a redemption arc because some people per se weren't bad, but also I like the idea of a comic kill where um it's sort of those shades of gray where you don't know exactly who was actually good. Like in the world, in the world that they had, everyone that was on, um, who were part of Night Raid knew that they were doing the right thing because they were doing it for the people. But when it came to the nation, besides SDF and the Prime Minister, um, some of the people that were a part of the team to get rid of Night Raid really thought that they were good guys, and some of them didn't care. Um, I'm thinking of the one guy who had the Imperial arms that was kind of like armor on the other side. He thought that he was doing the right thing, but some people did do it for power, and Akame's sister did it just because she felt betrayed by her sister. That happens also in anime. We can't do anything about that. Um, but I'm blubbering on again. Um, so if you can't tell, I did like a Kamega Kill, and I did like Oh My God and Accelerated World. Those are some good ones. Um, and I hope that's not just me reading into what what's popular. It's not just because it's popular. It really did catch my attention. I do like. I haven't seen some of these in years, and I'm still able to tell you exactly what happened in certain parts of it. With Celery World, I watched it and I can't remember a exact point, well, like anything that really stuck with me for the most part. Um, and that's why I'm like, it's okay. Another one that I liked and probably part of the mainstream is Classroom. I'm sorry, Assassination Classroom. Assassination Classroom, if you haven't seen it, is all about these kids trying to kill their teacher, who is a giant yellow or whatever color he feels like being at the time monster that has a Mach 5 speed, if I remember correctly, um, tentacles, which little girls and tentacles seems very weird whenever you watch anime because of all the stuff that we weren't supposed to be watching that we probably have seen. Um, what else? What else does he have? He has a coating that protects him, but he can't eat like regular bullets don't kill him. They have to create a specific pellet just to get rid of him. And he lets them try to kill him every day. In the point of trying to make them assassins to just kill him, not anyone else, just him, so that he can get them into understanding that they need education. And through education, he can get them into having a better future for their lives. That's all he wanted to do. Give them a better future. And he didn't know how to teach himself, so he figured that the best way of doing it is to try and teach them how to be a killer. And by learning that, he would be able to get them into what they could actually do for their own futures. And it worked. Like, they were considered at the beginning of the show one of the worst class in the anime, and they left out with honors. Like, their school ranked everybody based on their grades, and in the end, they had some of the highest grades in their entire school. So he was successful. They passed school, and they all came out to have good jobs. And if it wasn't a good job, it was a job they wanted. So, you know, and I like the premise of it. I like the idea of, you know, he actually thought of a way of motivating kids, because if you're a teacher, you know it's hard to motivate kids. You know, kids don't always want to be at school. You know, you want to be this cool teacher, but a lot of kids won't make you feel like the only way for you to be a cool teacher is not to get them into work. But you know, there are ways of engaging kids that you have to figure out. And being the other side of it was, he told them that if they didn't kill him, he was going to blow up the world. That was kind of an important thing for them. So, you know, trying to make sure they stay alive, their family stays alive, and everything like that kind of was important to them. So, yeah, that's why I like the premise of the anime. I would not want that in real life. Now, I would probably be cool with parts of a Comic Kill, the Imperial Arms part of Comic Kill. I'd be cool with the Oh My Goddess thing. I might not get the goddess, but you know, and I like the idea of Accelerated World. With Assassination Classroom, though, I like watching it. I wouldn't want to be there. Uh, I don't even. Was that one of the? I don't think this was one of the worlds that I said I wouldn't want to be in. And I don't think it was one of the worlds I said I wanted to be in either, because it. Either way, you're a regular person. I like being in worlds where you can be extraordinary. Um, and the another one that I have is Attack on Titan. Um, it took me a minute to get into Attack on Titan. I'll be honest with you. Mostly because I started seeing Attack on Titan on Adult Swim, and I didn't know what to make of it. I really didn't know what to make of it. Because I always saw it in the middle. So, and I don't like seeing stuff in the middle. If I see a movie that I'm like, oh, I want to see this movie, and I see that it's been on for 15 minutes, I'm like, I'm gonna have to see it when it comes on again, because I hate seeing stuff in the middle. I want to see the story from the beginning so I can know exactly what happened. Um, so when I finally got to see Attack on Titan from the beginning, I got to see what was going on. I think I saw it on Hulu. Uh, Attack on Titan was actually good. Um, I don't. That's a world I wouldn't want to be in. First of all, but the world is interesting, and I kind of was weary about it because, unlike other shows, like when you get into other animes, they tell you a lot of stuff up front. You learn about they give you the backstory of the world before you even start, or they have people telling somebody else about how this world is because they've never been here before. So you get all this summation of art of what's going on in this world when you first start, in like maybe the first 3 episodes. Well, with this, you don't get that. With you find out that the world has been taken over by Titans. They're fighting them, yes. Um, your first interaction with one is actually having Aaron's mom get eaten. Um, yeah. So you you don't really know what's going on to begin with. Like you find out that they're being attacked by Titans, but as you watch through the season, you see like my first thought in my mind was, how did Titans take over the whole world and put us into this steampunk apocalypse? Because that's kind of what happened. Like you have this one castle that has all these people in there, and if they have these like things that runs off of steam and stuff like that. I'm like, so this is somewhat like steampunk type stuff. You know, the leather jackets, they're flying around with their ropes. I'm like, okay, steampunk. Now, uh, and I don't know if that's accurate to say that um Attack on Titan is steampunk, but that's how I feel. Most of the time we see people with steampunk, it's the glasses. They have these contraptions made using steam, leather something, leather long trench coats or something like that. And that's what I figured that this was going to be. Another steampunk anime. Well, a steampunk anime. I can't say another one because I can't think of another steampunk anime right now. But Attack on Titan is good. It made me feel comfortable knowing that they had a Titan on their side. It kind of made me feel like the fight is rigged, but it made it a little bit more fair when you found out that they were able to have their own Titan in a way. Uh, it and watching the show, because I think I just skipped over what I was saying. You get more details because, like I said, I was wondering how the whole world got taken over by Titan, and you find out that it's not the entire world. It's kind of like other kingdoms out there and stuff like that. That's um separate from this place. So it and if you haven't seen the part, spoilers. Granted, if I remember the rule right, you had over a year to see this. So I'm legally in my area to be able to say that. So, mm, so, uh, yeah, Attack on Titan is great. I, I, I can't say that it dragged on, but there's a lot of explanations because they're trying to pull in people that you didn't know were important in some cases. Like, hey, this guy's king. And you're like, who the hell are you? Um, so that's the only issue with it. That it's start you somewhat in the middle of the story, and then it's trying to get you to realize that these other parts of the story are just as important. Um, because to me, a lot of the stuff was or is focusing on Aaron, and now it's not. Um, because there's other things going on. You're finding out about other Titans we didn't know were around before. Creatures that, uh, other creatures that were just as well, not other creatures, but titans that we didn't know existed. Because at first, when you first start the show, you only know about the female titan. Well, actually, the first three you know of is the armored titan, the regular titans, and the colossal titan. But then you start getting, I don't know what you call Aaron's titan. I guess strike titan. So you have Aaron's titan. You have the ape titan. You have several intelligent titans that you didn't know existed before, and like they constantly keep coming out of the woodwork, and you're like, where in the world are these people coming from? Um, but I that's all to say that I do like it. I did enjoy it. Um, the last one that I have is an anime called Azumanga Daioh. It's it's sweet. Um, the sad thing is that I have not seen everything on Azumanga Daioh. I have Azumanga Daioh, don't get me wrong, but I've seen it. Well, I haven't seen all of it. I have not gotten past, I want to say, the 10th episode. Um, it's a very sweet slice of life anime about a bunch of school kids. And the thing is that, the only thing I ever remember about it is a little girl talking about cooking is so fine, cooking is so fine. Now it's time to take a break and see what we have done. Oh, it's ready. And then the next word she says is, wait a minute, we're not cooking at all. And it confused the hell out of me. But that's the first, and I know that's in like the first episode, but that's the only thing that ever stays in my mind. Because every time I sit down and I'll be bored, I'll be like, cooking is so fun, cooking is so fun. Now it's time to take a break and see what we have done. I'm like, why? Why am I remembering this? But that is not to say this is a bad show. It's just that I have not been able to get into it. It's actually is a good show. It's like I said before, I love saying action, suspense, something like that. I just this is just a normal day anime, and I just wasn't able to get into it. I apologize that I am not doing my due diligence of watching every single anime out there, or even watching all the animes I actually have. But yeah, that's how that goes. Um, I think I've dragged this along long enough. I'm gonna go ahead and come back some other time with my B's, which Black Butler, gonna be in there, and Bleach, and yeah. So I'll catch y'all later.